las 4, 5, 6 y 10. Para toda la información del día, el estado del tiempo y los deportes. Buenas tardes, y sigan disfrutando su día.
I guess we'll have a different song every day. Oh, we are live. I'm sorry, Pete. Oh my gosh. Okay.
You want the same song?
When you nod and look at me.
No, it's the same song.
Yeah, and I like. I mean, should it be the same song every day or different song every day?
That's what you want.
No, I
got a mess of songs so I could,
A mess of songs.
See, I'm the Doctor of Love on my other sister station, so I got all these.
The Doctor of Love.
The Doctor of Love.
So if your love is broken, you can fix it.
That's right.
What's the number that people call? Do they call in or do they write letters? How do you get access to your callers?
Oh, every Sunday on my show.
And
it's the same number.
It's the same number here?
No, it's the other station over here, our sister station, KBNA.
KBNA, and you're the Love Doctor.
Yes.
Maybe you could give Jessica some tips.
You should read my column.
Do you do like Love Potion number 9?
Oh yeah, if you want to hear that song, we'll put it out for you.
Yeah, in fact, you are more than welcome to show your mad DJ skills. I'm not persnickety about the type of music that gets played at all. Just as long as it's a little bit upbeat. That's why I really like this little whistle song. But I don't even know who sings it.
The word persnickety came out so serendipitously.
Oh, I love multisyllabic words and that very naturally. Okay, for those of you that are listening, 880-5262, that's the number you call. If you tell me what you're cooking for dinner, not right now just in case you're driving home, but when you get there, you can win 2 tickets to the Best of El Paso party, which is this Thursday, where you can also meet John.
We're cooking pho thai.
You're cooking, how do you pronounce it correctly?
Pho thai.
Pho thai, as opposed to pad thai?
Well, it's Vietnamese, it's not Thai.
And
pho is Vietnamese soup, and Thai means the beef is rare.
Oh. That's what you're having for dinner?
Yeah.
I'd give you 2 free tickets to the event, but you're going to be there.
But I didn't know the trivia question, what we're having for dinner.
And how do you know what you're having for dinner? Do you do you guys have a little phone conversation like at 1 and talk about maybe what you want to eat?
No, we plan way in advance. You have to buy the bones to start making the soup. So.
What kind of bones do you have to go buy to make the soup?
Bones.
Oh, nice. You look at me like I'm crazy, like the soup bones, Lisa.
You go to the meat department of Albertsons or
wherever.
Big A, any of those, and you just tell them, can I have some soup bones? And they'll give you soup bones.
That's super fun, and that's what you're going to have for dinner tonight.
Because we make our own, we start the broth right from the bone.
Okay, like we or...
We.
Okay, that's good.
It's a cooperative effort.
You've been a we for 38 years.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing. Congratulations.
I just pour the water in the pot.
And what is the secret to marital bliss? Do you want to share that with our listeners today?
The secret is, yes ma'am. The other secret is when you realize that you're right when you're having an argument with your spouse, that's when you should give up.
Oh, let them...
And it's still yes, ma'am.
And it's still yes, ma'am. But just give up. Don't keep pushing.
Because your relationship's more important than winning any argument.
I don't know if I agree. Right. Although, how long? I've been married 7 years. But I don't give up when the other person is
I do.
wrong. Yeah, I do.
I do.
But you do?
Yeah.
That's why you're the mayor and I'm just the radio host. I don't think I'd be as diplomatic in that position.
Yeah. Well, my wife raised 7 children and I was the oldest. I know when to let her win the argument.
That's funny. Okay, so I already said thank you, Mr. Mayor, for joining me in the studio, and Jessica and Davi and Pete. We're all very grateful that you're here. And you're coming off of a little rough and tumble. You're coming off of an attempt to have a recall.
Right. And, I'm very humbled that the recall was not successful. Nobody likes to have something like that hanging over their head. It probably took more of a toll on my wife and my mom than it did on me, because I just had to do business as usual.
How did you not think about it? I mean, how did you stay on point and do business as usual amidst...
Well, I just prayed over it and just move on, and whatever we were going to face, I wasn't going to be able to change it by worrying about it, so why worry about it?
But your wife and your mom worried about it. That's not very nice for the recallers to do to your family. And what did you...
I still believe that we need to have the recall provision in the charter. I still do. Because if you ever were to get a real dud in office, and then you find out like 6 months after the election, you're going to be stuck with it for 4 years.
Right.
Somebody, I think you need to have that ability. Even though I didn't like being on the wrong end of the recall. But
And what can you do while someone is actively passing out, pamphlets to collect signatures? I mean, is there anything you can do to battle the recall? Are you going out and having public meetings? Because the recall was sparked because of the stormwater fees. And is that...
Yeah, and there was, what I found was there was a lot of misinformation about the stormwater fees. And a lot of that was the PSB's fault for putting out erroneous numbers in the first place. Not really realizing what the impact was going to be on the business community, and that's where we really heard the complaints. So even after you lower the fees by 40%, people have still already been upset, and it's pretty hard to get people upset.
Right. So were you going out and having meetings and talking to people and doing presentations?
I spoke at some of the representative breakfast meetings, and but most people that I met, people in the street, at the just going to the store and stuff like that, were very encouraging to me, saying, we think you're doing a good job and we hope the recall's not successful. And yesterday, after we went to church, people came up after church, and here they've been seeing me there every Sunday for the last however many weeks this has been going on, and they've been pretty quiet. But they were coming up congratulating me. I think I got more congratulations then than when I got elected mayor. But that was a very humbling experience.
Yeah, and I think that is one thing that makes you a better person when you are reminded that you're human, but that's also got to be a little bit painful to go through. And they needed 7,900 signatures, and they claim that they got very close. We went down and David Crowder was working on the story Friday as it was breaking, and it's the end of the day. It's like 5:45. Both my kids are at the office with me because I was doing some babysitting/editing. And David's like, I need pictures. And I'm like, kids, let's get in the car. So we drove down to Blimpie on Texas Avenue to go see this stack of papers, and we took pictures, and it was fun for my kids because there was little news trucks there and they got to meet Mr. Blimpie. But it was a bit of a family affair covering the recall. But I think Newspaper Tree did a great job and was very even-handed. And for those of you that want to look on newspapertree.com, you can search under, of course, a lot of topics, but I know that there's recall stories up there that both Cito and David Crowder worked on, and they both did a great job, and I want to commend them. And I want to, of course, commend you on standing so strong while that was going on. We appreciate having such a fearless leader. Yeah,
and speaking of Newspaper Tree, though, you guys have now set the bar. I really believe that. Once you unleash David Crowder and take the muzzle off, boy, I just hope he never gets mad at me because he's...
Well, are you referring to a particular column that he wrote about anybody?
No, just his general investigative reporting, his style of investigative reporting. I know that the El Paso Times must really miss him.
I think they must miss him a lot, and we're very grateful to have the type of format, because I think one of the, he was at the El Paso Times for 25 years, and the difficult thing about writing for newspapers is you'll hustle to get a story, and you'll interview all your sources, and you'll get all your quotes, and then they'll say, well, we got an ad, and now you've got 6 inches as opposed to 12.
Yeah.
So they would, chop the stuff in half.
David would constantly complain to me about that, because I complained to him when I give him what I thought was a good quote.
Right.
He doesn't use it, and he says, well, it was in my story, they cut it out. Or the headline.
Oh, that's true.
And different people write the headlines, and a lot of time that can skew people's opinion before they even start reading the column. And but now he does the headline, and he does the story,
and he can have
and the
all
editing,
the inches he wants.
I got a ton of time. You're moving your body.